So how good is it to be evil?
It's pretty great. It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it has its challenges for sure, but it's a lot of fun.
So how are things going to change for Regina now that, magic is back?
Well, like we saw in the finale, she's lost Henry. So it's about trying to get him back in the second season for her. And how she's going to do that, we have yet to reveal. But there is a smirk on her face at the end. Happy to see that magic is back. I'm sure she's going to find a way to use magic to get him back at some point.
What I really appreciated about your performance and also the character was that yes, she was evil, she did really, really evil things, but when you start to learn the motivations behind it, you can kind of understand. There's some understanding that goes along with it. So, how was that to play that sort of thing? Were you glad to have reasons to be able to?
I was. I knew initially, just from the pilot, that this evil comes from a deep place. And so I never lost that. And I had my own story that fed me throughout the season until we got to episode 18. Although it wasn't far off, actually, from what you saw in the Stable Boy episode. I knew that her true love was killed. I didn't know how or who did it, but I knew that. And I knew that even before I auditioned. Which is kind of strange. And I remember when I started shooting the pilot, we were up in Vancouver, and I talked to Eddie and Adam, and I said, I feel like her true love was killed, and someone killed her true love, and they looked at me and went, how did you know that? And I said, what do you mean? And they said, that's exactly where we're going. And they initially were going to tell that storyline in the second episode. But then they did the smart thing and waited, and I was really happy that they waited because it meant so much more when we actually saw where her pain derives from.
Eddie and Adam have hinted that nobody can order her backstory for Regina, which was maybe possibly being given away. Can you talk about that? Have they mentioned to you that there's more to tell them?
Yeah.
And that's
yes, they have. But I can't say much. But you will learn very quickly in the second season.
Which fairy tales do you personally like, and which fairy tales would you actually want to see be brought into Once Upon a Time at some point?
Well, I was very excited to see the Jack and the Beanstalk, and the opening. What is it? The title card. It says Once Upon a Time, and then you see sometimes a wolf come in, or Snow walking through the forest with her dwarves. And this time we saw a beanstalk. I was so excited about that. And we just had lunch, and I kept saying to them, I'm so excited. Is there any way, like, the evil queen can be in there, or could I just be on set? And I'm sure it's going to be a green screen, and there'll just be, like, a bunch of ropes, hanging from the ceiling. But I'm super excited about Jack and the Beanstalk. That was also one of my favorite stories growing up. Hansel and Gretel was one, although we've seen that already. And I'm sure some of you have read. I love Ursula. I absolutely love Ursula. And I keep asking if I can play her, but I don't. I mean, if Rumpel can be the Beast, why can't the evil queen also be Ursula? So, right? Yeah. So we'll see.
But they're adding Mulan this year. I'm just trying to find
And Aurora.
So do you know anything about that, and are you going to be involved in those stories?
I'm not sure. I know you will meet those two characters very early on. I can't say anything. But it hints at who they are, and you will be introduced to them in the first 5 episodes.
And probably darker than in the Disney episode, right? The Disney story.
Oh yeah. But just much more, like all of our characters, they're much more evolved in ways that we've never seen or read before.
One of my favorite interactions last season was between the Mad Hatter and Regina. Are we going to get to see them working together again in season 2?
I hope so. I really love working with Sebastian Stan. I think he's extremely talented, very talented. he does have a couple projects coming up, so I don't know how lucky we are, but I don't know if we'll get to work with him as much, but hopefully we will, because he's been a great addition to the cast, and he's just so interesting and so mysterious, and they have a lot to resolve, these two characters. So, see, I really don't know much. I have to be honest with you. Like, I really don't. I've read the first 2 episodes, and that's it. And that's, they're cracking away in that room, in that writer's room.
Well, has she taught you anything that you actually think is a positive thing that you want to put in your life, like to be more take charge or something like that?
Have I learned anything from Regina? I've learned what not to do. I'm like, well, if I have children one day, I definitely don't want to be that kind of mother. Although I will say that she loves very deeply, and I know that she does, and that's a choice I've always made from the very beginning. How she expresses her love is another thing, and I think in the second season she's going to work on that. I think there's a lot of growth for Regina in the second season.
Mary Margaret's been really meek around Regina, but now that she knows Snow's pretty fierce, you guys. How will that dynamic change? She's going to stand up to her more?
I'm sure. As we've seen Snow White in Fairy Tale Land, she's a badass. I guarantee she's going to confront Regina at some point. I think they'll all probably try to take her down. I don't know how successful they'll be, but they'll at least try. All right, thank you.